Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in wells of silence. And the people
Type.
to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning, and the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence.
Come here, baby. You know you drive me up a wall, the way you make good for all the nasty tricks you pull. Seems like we're making up more than we're making love. And it always seems you got something on your mind other than me. Girl, you got to change your crazy ways. You hear me? Say you're leaving on a 7:30 train and that you're heading out to Hollywood. Girl, you've been giving me the line so many times it kinda gets like feeling bad looks good. Yeah, that kind of loving stuff and talking like it's tough and trying to tell me that it's time to go. Yeah, but I know you ain't wearing nothing underneath that overcoat, and it's all a show. Yeah, that kind of loving makes me wanna pull down the shade. Yeah, that kind of loving. Yeah, now I'm never, 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 never gonna be the same. I go crazy, crazy, baby. I go crazy. You turn it on, then you're gone. Yeah, you drive me crazy, crazy, crazy for you, baby. What can I do, honey? I feel like the color blue. I'm losing my mind, girl, 'cause I'm going crazy.
They do the...
Once upon a time, not so long ago,
One more? Can I play one more after this? One more? All right. Last one, I promise. This is the last one, I promise. Then we'll talk some football. Just hold on. Let's go. Hit the thumbs up.
Troubled times, caught between confusion and pain, distant eyes, promises we
Whoa, Todd, whoa!
if you must go,
Yeah. Good morning, and that is Uncle Lou here. Yeah, that's right. It is me, Uncle Lou, live on LouTube for you. Thanks for watching. This is Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show, and that's what we are here to do. Talk some college football. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's having a great week. Great weekend of college football games coming up. And we're going to talk about it today. If you would like to be a part of the show, there is a StreamYard link in the description of the video. Just click that link. It'll take you to the StreamYard. Box comes up. Type your name in the box, whatever you want to be called. Click Enter Studio to put you in a back room. And when it's your turn to talk, we will put you on to talk some college football. There's a camera function built into StreamYard. I don't use the camera function, just use it to get your audio into the show. So you can turn the camera off, on, whatever you want. Doesn't matter. No one will see it. I won't see it. The camera function doesn't matter at all, so don't let that scare you off. Again, I do appreciate everybody tuning in. Please hit the thumbs up here at the start of the show. That is a big help. That is a big help. Let's see who's here and hanging out. Little Whitey and Jay Shipes, thank y'all for the super chats. I will get to those in just a second. Let's see who's here and hanging out today. We've got the Mad T-Sipper, Andy Kicklighter, Brandon Black. Hold on, I gotta slow it down. Alex, Ramdog, Seth Bowers, Kane, the President, Chip, Mead Drinker, College Football Guy, Sir UGA Man, and his lovely wife took me and BA out to dinner tonight here in Augusta. So shout out to him. I appreciate that. We had a good time. Went to Reinhardt's, one of my favorite places here. So shout out to them. Good to see them again. Rob Dog, Milk is Khan, Jace Vincent. What does that say? Lloyd Dog. Yep. Of course it does. Mike Leach's Pet Sasquatch, Scottish, Zach Bolton. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Man. Great weekend of college football coming up. Texas and Kansas State, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, Southern Cal and Washington, Alabama, LSU, Georgia, Missouri. Just a bunch of great games coming up this weekend. Looks like the streaming schedule will be 3:30 on Patreon. For all you Patreon people, we'll hang out and watch the 3:30 games. And primetime games right here on YouTube. That's what it looks like for this Saturday's streaming schedule. So if you're going to be watching some college football this weekend, come hang out and watch it with us. We have a really good time talking about all these games while they're on every Saturday. Little Whitey says SMU is better than Southern Cal. That's possible. You know who else SMU is better than? A lot of ACC teams. And they're going to be in the ACC next year. So just start making a list in your head. Who is SMU a better team than in the ACC? Well, Clemson, Pitt, Boston College, Syracuse, Virginia, Wake Forest. The list goes on and on. Jay Shipes, thank you for the super chat. He says, Lou, post the link. Not in description for some reason. You might have typed that before I put it in the description, but it is in the description now. Thank you, Jay. Alex says, good morning, Lou. Let's go. With a bunch of EAU X's on the end because he's a Cajun man. He's a corn dog man. There you go. Alex sent me this video of himself earlier. Let's take a look at it. Shout out to Alex. Wow. That's amazing. Thank you for that. That was great. Appreciate that also and two. Good morning in that and two and also. We hear you breathing, man.
Oh, what's up, Lou?
What's up, buddy?
Oh man, it's that time, buddy.
It is that time. Missouri's going to have to go ahead and tote that L, my friend.
I know it's going to happen, pal. I definitely know it. I mean, in Athens.
Hey, it's still a good year for Mizzou, man. You can still beat Arkansas. You can still beat Florida. You can still beat Tennessee, and you can still have a really good year. You might can make a New Year's Six game. Imagine the possibilities.
Yeah. But this weekend, if we somehow pull this off, it's going to be a miracle.
Yeah, y'all are a big underdog. This is a tough spot for Missouri here. I think Georgia's hitting their stride in a similar way to they did last year. I think they're done playing around, and I think it's going to be tough for somebody to knock Georgia off, especially especially at home in Athens.
Yeah, I don't see it, buddy. I don't see it. And then Washington playing USC, that's going to be nuts as well.
Yeah, because Washington hasn't looked all that great the last couple of weeks, and of course Southern Cal has just completely fallen off the map. I expect Washington to show up ready to play and win the game, but if for some reason they are struggling again, it could get interesting.
I tell you, I also follow Washington, and I'm not too happy with what I'm seeing of late.
Yeah, they've struggled the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Against teams you should be able to beat soundly.
Yeah, really ever since they beat Oregon, I don't know, they've been kind of sleepwalking. Now, this happens to teams from time to time. Nobody blows out everybody they play. So, maybe it's just like a little lull in the season for Washington, and they'll turn it back on this weekend. But, yeah, they haven't looked the same the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. And then I don't even know who's Wazoo playing this weekend.
What'd you say?
I don't even know who Washington State's playing this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know who Washington State plays either. I ain't got no internet. Oregon State plays Colorado, if you want to talk about that.
Oh, boy. Ooh. Okay, Stanford. That should be a win.
Who? Stanford.
Stanford. Yep. Yeah, I pretty much know how Saturday's going to go in Athens.
Oh, yeah? How's that?
It's not going to be pretty.
Well, not for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it'll be just fine, I hope.
Yes, sir. I know.
Yeah.
I know. And of course, on Tuesday and Saturday night, I'll be right here. Congratulating everybody.
Yeah, I know you ain't going nowhere, and I'll make you a deal. If for some reason Georgia loses, I won't go anywhere either. How about that?
No, none of us are going anywhere.
That's right. All right, Eric, thanks for calling in, buddy. Good luck this weekend. Remember, we can be friends again next week, but for now, your team is garbage.
I know that.
All right, have a great day. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Good morning, sir. How's it going?
Oh, going good. Let me get your music queued up. Go ahead.
Now we're actually favored this week.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, we're playing for, I guess, who is not in the basement in the Big 12 standings. I actually feel all right about this matchup. So you don't have to maybe play the sad music just yet.
Okay.
Not to mention it's 5 days until a good Baylor team starts their season against the Barn. We're a basketball school.
Yeah. I'd be happy to talk about that with you in March when it matters. Basketball is the most basketball and baseball regular seasons are irrelevant.
Yeah. Our baseball team is worse than the local community college here, but that's beside the point. How you feeling about this?
Dude, that's so far besides the point. It's not even a point.
Yeah. Anyway, how are you feeling about the? I understand this is a hated rivalry. You guys in Missouri.
Right. Yeah. Missouri hates losing to us all the time. That's the only hate involved in this game.
Yeah, that's what I understand.
Right.
But I don't know. I think you guys are. I think you guys are on a mission.
Yeah,
if
I
I was
agree.
a Georgia fan, I'd feel good about this matchup.
Yeah, I'm done doubting the Dogs. I'm not picking against them anymore. They're going to cover. They could still lose a game. It's possible. I still think they're more likely to go 11-1 than 12-0, but I'm not picking against them again. I think they've done switched it into higher gear now, and everybody else is just fooked.
Well, just so old Connor Stallions doesn't start stealing y'all's signs.
He's already done it. He's done it each of the last 2 years. Hasn't helped.
Hasn't looked like it.
Yeah, he's had tickets to the SEC championship game the last 2 years, so, and he's welcome to come this year too.
I just wonder which sideline he'll be on.
Well, Central Michigan's not playing, so he won't be on that sideline.
No.
That is him, though.
Oh yeah, and there's no question.
Yeah, it's him. This is the most cut and dry, black and white, obvious case of full-blown cheating that I've ever seen in my lifetime in college football.
Don't tell Nate that.
I've
I know he's
already
a
told
Michigan
him.
fan.
I've already told him. And next weekend, I'm telling him to his face.
Oh. Yikes.
Yeah. So all
Maybe
these
he'll
people,
get back
all
on
these
the Matt
people
Rule train.
who have typed about over all these years about how you wouldn't say that to this person's face. Yeah, I will. I will say that to Nate's face next weekend. Well, I'll say it to the bottom of his shoulder. He's 6'4", 6'5". So I won't technically say it to his face. I'll say it to about right here on him.
That's fair. Well, unless he's sitting down.
Yeah.
But, we got a lot of great games this weekend.
Yes, we do.
I mean, even though, I guess my team's season's over, I mean, I'm still going to go to the games, still going to root for my Bears, and, of course, get all pumped for the other games. I mean, I'm a college football fan. Just Baylor happens to be my favorite team.
Right. That's the good part. Because, look, I've been a Georgia fan for 40 years. I've suffered through plenty of bad seasons. When you're a college football fan, you don't have to, you don't have to throw in the towel and start watching cartoons. I mean, there's, everybody goes through a year or a period of years where their team isn't where they want them to be. But if you're a college football fan, you can still enjoy the other games that are on. So, there's a lot of good ones for you to choose from this weekend that don't involve Baylor. So
this is true. I mean, and look at our conference. I mean, we've got some amazing conference games.
Yeah. I
mean, we've got the Bedlam. We've got the big noon Saturday game, the Kansas State, Texas, even Iowa State, Kansas. And we've got a lot of great matchups. And then the Pac-12, the Washington USC game, that's going to be a basketball score. So if y'all are into betting, anybody listening, hammer the over in that game.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there.
Because that honestly could go over maybe 100 points.
100 points, you say? Like the Tennessee-Alabama game for last year, just defense optional.
Yeah. It's just like, this defense doesn't even come on the field. Just first team to get a stop wins.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm already looking forward to our big slate of games. I mean, I'm one of those guys that I'll watch college football, at least content from college game day through the last second of the last game.
Yeah, me too.
And yes, that includes Hawaii.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because football season is it's the longest off season and the shortest season. So I always want to enjoy it while I still can.
Yeah. All right, Baylor, man, I'm going to let you go. I love you. You're one of my favorite callers. You need to start doing crack or meth or something about an hour before you call in, though.
Well,
all right. Thank you for the call, but we got to get you. You got to get some. You got to put some pepper in your stepper, buddy. Yeah. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
What's up, Uncle Lou?
What's up, Chip?
Man, I just want to say one thing real quick. I thought we couldn't win without Brock Bowers.
Yeah,
I thought Brock Bowers was our offense, Lou.
Well, we can't. I mean, what else do you want Brock Bowers to do? He had 4 sacks in the first half. Brock Bowers blocked a punt. He threw 2 touchdown passes, caught a couple of touchdown passes, had 100-something yards rushing. I mean, he just dominated in all 3 phases.
I think I saw him also like wearing a headset up in the booth. I think he was playing offensive coordinator. He was all over the place. Yeah. He was everywhere. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, man. It's Thursday, so I'm not gonna cover what happened last week. Last week was last week. We're looking at this week, and it's interesting that you guys mentioned a high score line because I want to talk about Washington USC real quick.
Yeah.
Obviously, as we know, USC's defense. It's nothing. There's air particles there. It's a bunch of atoms in that backfield. There is no players there. I think there's a potential for this to be not necessarily. If Washington's defense shows out, I don't think USC will be the team not to score this many points. But I think there's a very, very good chance we see Washington put up 50 points on USC.
I kind of agree. The Baylor man said he thinks 100 points will be scored. Washington. I mean, I'm not trying to pretend Washington has like a top 5 defense or whatever, but their defense is way better than Southern Cal's is. So I don't 100 points. I don't think Southern Cal is going to do that to Washington's defense. I mean, I think Washington can win this game by 2 or 3 touchdowns.
The only way this goes to 100 points is if Washington scores 80.
Yeah,
USC
something
scores
like
20.
that. Yeah, something like I don't think Southern Cal's getting to 50 points on Washington's defense. I don't see that happening. I think Washington probably wins, like 40 to 21, 45 to 20, 45 to 28, something like that. I don't think it's going to be particularly close.
Yeah, and speaking of Washington, this is a question a Michigan fan, a friend of mine asked. Do you think if Washington, considering the schedule they have remaining, if they win out, and including, that includes the Pac-12 championship, do you think they deserve that number 1 spot?
Well, you'd have to go through and tell me what every other team is going to do, and I'm not interested in hearing that.
Yeah.
So
okay, it's too early for that. Yeah.
But I mean, any 13-0 team has a good shot of being number 1 because the odds are that there's not going to be very many 13-0 teams.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just the main purpose of that question was because I think there's a lot of opinions and thoughts that the Pac-12 this year is the best conference.
Right.
So, I don't know. Take that as you will. And as for Missouri, I ain't even gonna. Who was that one fan? Didn't he say that Missouri was our number 1 rival or upcoming rival?
Not number 1 rival, but he did try to claim that Georgia and Missouri was a rivalry game. Yeah. Eric is his name.
Oh my God, man!
Yeah,
I don't understand that, but
it's not a rivalry.
It's not even close. And I think, despite the fact of despite how close it was last year, I think because of how fast the offense has been cooking, I think we could put a 40. This could be a 40-piece type game.
Yeah, I expect Georgia to get to the 40s against the Missouri defense. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I don't think Missouri might hit a couple of balls or something to Luther Burden, but I mean, I'm going to be surprised if Missouri gets into the 20s.
Yeah, I mean, the worst I could see happening is Missouri gets the opening TD like Florida did, but then just immediately crumble after that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think Brady Cook's going to be running for his life. I don't think Missouri's going to be able to run the ball at all. I don't think this is a good matchup for Missouri.
No.
And I do
Yeah.
think Missouri's a good team. I'm not shitting on Missouri. I'll do that tomorrow in the Hype and Hate video. I just mean from a football matchup perspective, I do not think Missouri will be able to run the ball on Georgia. Very few teams can. And, as good as Brady Cook has been with Luther Burden and those wide receivers, I don't think he's just going to sit in the pocket and pick that Georgia defense apart. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, there is no doubt that they're a good team. I mean, they should be undefeated. They just decided to just blow the fuck out of the LSU game for some reason and collapse. But Alabama and LSU. I didn't watch the video, so real quick, who do you have winning that match?
I mean, I think either team can win. I picked LSU because I picked LSU in the preseason. LSU has looked like a better team most of the year this year than Alabama, and it's only a 3-point game. So I'm just going to ride with my original prediction and stay with LSU. But that LSU secondary concerns me because the one thing Mildew can do is throw the ball deep. And if LSU doesn't figure that out, whether it's, I mean, I don't know what they do. Do they sell out? Like pressuring Mildew is the answer. But the problem is when your secondary is that bad, if they send anybody extra after Mildew and have to play man-to-man on the back end, it seems like they're going to get eaten alive if they don't get to Mildew quick, fast, and in a hurry. That would be my concern if I'm LSU, because I do think LSU will score some points. Bama's defense is really good, but I do think LSU will score some points. But, I don't think they're going to get into the 40s or 50s. Maybe they do, but I don't know. It seems like a 35-30 type of deal to me, and I'm just going to go with LSU. But I wouldn't bet a dime on this game one way or the other.
Yeah, and I don't want to make this sound like the who they play, Lou, but would you say this is the best caliber of the offense that Alabama defense is going to face so far?
Texas is close. I mean, Texas is pretty
besides
good.
Texas because they lost that game.
Well, yeah, besides Texas, this is definitely the best offense they've played. I mean, LSU's got one of the best offenses in the country.
Yeah. Yeah, I personally, I had this going into the 30s. Type of game. I think both teams could score, are going to score a bunch of points on each other. But yes, I do agree. And if that prediction comes true, do you think it won't be certified, obviously, there's games to play after that. But do you think the chances of LSU winning the West again exponentially go higher with the win?
I think whoever wins this game is winning the West.
Okay. So you think you've won the West?
Yeah.
And you don't think? I mean, Ole Miss is facing Georgia, so yeah, of course you don't think they're going to win the West. I don't think so either. I think Ole Miss isn't going to win it. And back to because I do have one more thing to say about Washington real quick. Because so as the rankings came, not Washington. I have something to say about the rankings. So the rankings came out, and Ohio State was put at number 1. I heard that you agreed with that. Can I please get your reason and why?
They have 2 top 15 wins. They're undefeated, and they have the best resume in the country of any undefeated team. It's really pretty simple.
Do you think they'll beat Michigan this year?
See, when you start ranking teams based on what people think, that's where you lose. You have to do as little thinking as possible when you rank teams. Yeah. Opinion is what fucks rankings up. So I try to use as little opinion as possible. I think Michigan is better than Ohio State. I think Georgia is better than Ohio State. I think Oregon is better than Ohio State. There's several teams I think are better than Ohio State. But what you think, you can't allow what you think to override what has actually happened on the football field. And so far, through 10 weeks of the season, Ohio State is undefeated with 2 wins over teams that are currently ranked in the top 15. No one else comes close to that resume right now. And so I think they deserve to be ranked number 1.
Yeah. I listen, I just found it, I thought it was blasphemy at first look, but I guess you're right. I was looking at it more towards like what I think is going to happen, but that would just be a dumbass way to look at it.
Well, it's not that it's dumb. I mean, and a lot of people make their rankings that way. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I just try to use as little opinion. You have to use some opinion when you're ranking teams that have the exact same record. There's no way around it. But there are enough facts I think we can use to justify Ohio State being ranked number 1 without having to use any opinion at all. They definitely have they have the 2 best wins of any of the 5 undefeated Power 5 teams. Like, that's just not debatable.
Definitely.
Michigan and Georgia haven't beat anyone ranked. Florida State's best win is against LSU, and that is a good win, but that's 1. Ohio State has 2 of those. Who else is in there that Washington has beat Oregon.
Michigan.
Outside of that, so it makes sense to me based on what's happened so far with using as little opinion as possible, which is my goal when I make the rankings, that it makes sense to me to have Ohio State 1.
Yeah, and this last point I want to make before I go, because I know you got a long line, is I think for generally the freak out should be kept to a minimum. When it's just like when we get the preseason rankings, none of that shit matters until the day of the playoffs.
Right.
Because Ohio State could lose 3 games that they're not supposed to lose, but they could. Georgia could lose a game. Michigan could, anything could happen in the remaining weeks that we have.
Right. So getting worked up about the rankings, I agree, because generally speaking, anybody in the top 10 right now, and generally speaking, and we'd have to go through it team by team, but generally anybody in the top really 11 right now that wins the rest of their games is getting into the playoffs almost without exception. Now there are a few scenarios where you could end up where that's not the case, but like even Penn State, no one talks about Penn State. Well, what if they don't lose again? That means they beat Michigan, right, and win the Big 12. They would get in 12-1 and Big 12 title. And you just go on Oregon. If Oregon wins out and then wins the Pac-12 title, they're in because they will have beaten Washington, which will knock Washington out. If Georgia wins out, they're in because they will have beaten whoever comes out of the West, so the West is out. You just go down the line. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, once we start getting down to like the last couple of rankings, then it can matter because who's 5, 6, and 7 can be very important. Because those are the teams that are then next in line to move into the top 4 should one of those top 4 teams lose. But right now, it's kind of irrelevant to get worked up about it, I think.
Yeah, getting freaking out right now is even next week or the week after.
Yeah.
It's too early. But Uncle Lou, appreciate it, man.
All right, buddy.
Have a good rest of your day.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the call. Good to hear from you. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Good morning, Uncle Lou. How you doing?
Doing good. You?
I'm doing good. And first of all, I want to thank you for all your hard work. Bringing the best college football show on YouTube to the masses. I know it takes a lot of work, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dale.
Okay, a kind of 3-part question here, Lou, and this is just your opinion, nobody else's. Okay, do you think Georgia wins out? That's the first part. Second part is, if not, which team do you think has the best chance to beat them? Third part is, has Carson Beck exceeded expectations, or did you expect this out of him?
I expected him to be good. I don't know if I thought mainly his yardage. I think is maybe I didn't expect him to have this amount of yardage.
Exactly, me too, man.
I don't necessarily think that means he's better than I thought he would be. He's obviously really good, but I think part of his yardage total is a reflection of UGA's injured running back situation. I think Georgia has been forced to throw the ball a little bit. I'm not really a numbers guy, so I can't tell you what percentage of the time last year we threw the ball versus ran it, but it seems like this year we throw it a little bit more, and that's probably because of running back.
Can I interrupt you? Doesn't Carson Beck have as many yards or completion percentage as Stetson Bennett did the same time last year?
I think he's ahead of Stetson Bennett in every category except for rushing yards and total touchdowns, because Stetson Bennett had some rushing touchdowns. But yeah, he's going to blow Stetson Bennett away.
Okay, good answer. So I guess the other 2 questions I had The chances of Georgia winning out, and if not,
the chances of Georgia winning out are over 50%. I mean, they're going to be a double-digit favorite in every game they play, including on the road at Tennessee. We already know they're a 15-point favorite over Mizzou. Let's skip ahead to next week, the Ole Miss game.
Okay.
I'm not certain what the line will be, Georgia versus Ole Miss. We'll have to wait to see how the games play out this weekend. But you can get an idea of what Vegas is thinking. Ole Miss plays at home this weekend against a terrible Texas A&M team.
Right.
They're a 3-point favorite.
That says something, right?
So what do you think that means for next week when Ole Miss is on the road at Georgia? Georgia's going to be a 2-touchdown favorite. That's what it means. And unless something weird happens this weekend. If Ole Miss loses this weekend, Georgia will be a 3-touchdown favorite. If Georgia loses this weekend, Georgia will only be a 6-point or 7-point favorite. But that tells you a lot about what Vegas thinks about Ole Miss at home against a bad Texas A&M team. Next year they got to play next week on the road at Georgia. Tennessee, Georgia's be favored by 10 to 13 points right now on the road at Tennessee. So the odds of them losing any one of those games is well below 50%. But I do think the odds of them losing one of those 3 games might be over 50%. I just don't know which one it'll be. Because whichever one it is going to be a huge upset.
And I'm not upset with the CFP rankings. I mean, of course they're going to rank Ohio State number 1. They have 2 quality wins. But, it's like you said, last year Tennessee was ranked number 1.
Yeah, I'm surprised Georgia's too. I think Georgia should be 3 behind Florida State.
Uncle Lou, I do too, man. And everybody knows I'm a fucking, diehard Georgia fan. But I think Georgia should have been ranked 3.
I think Florida State's the worst undefeated team. Like, I'm not that high on Florida State relative to the other undefeated teams. But again, I'm trying to use as little of my opinion as possible when I'm ranking the teams. And the reality is that Florida State has a really good win over LSU.
Exactly.
That's a better win than anything Georgia has. So I would have Florida State 2, Georgia 3.
Right. And you got LSU over Alabama this weekend still?
Yeah. But I think it's going to be close. And I won't be surprised if Alabama wins.
Me neither. All right, Uncle Lou, look, I'm going to get off here, man, bro. Like I said, man, thank you for all you do, man. Your show's the fucking best, bro.
All right, Dale.
You do everything good, man. Thank you for bringing it to the masses, man. Thank you.
All right, Dale. Thanks for calling in, buddy. It was good to hear from you today. Appreciate you taking the time. T, thank you for the super chat. He says, it be UGA 13-0, FSU 13-0, Michigan 13-0, Ohio State 12-1. What is that, your playoff prediction? Okay. Who's Ohio State losing to? Michigan, I guess, in the regular season? Ohio State can't be 12-1. Ohio State can't be 12-1 if Michigan's 13-0. Ohio State could be 11-1. But I don't think that's happening. I don't think anybody's getting 2 teams in. Tyler Caressley, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Lou, can we talk about that TCTUN? What is that? The cheating team up north staffer who was fired for talking to a 13-year-old girl. Personally, I think that's disgusting to me as a veteran. It is. And I realize it's like in fashion to pile on Michigan right now. And I'm not, look, that is horrible. Is that Michigan's fault? This isn't a Penn State situation where they kept the guy employed. They fired the guy immediately. Now, maybe they should have, I don't know, but should they have come forward and said, we're firing this guy, but like, should they have said why? Maybe, but it's not like they found out what he was doing and then kept him on staff. Like, they found out, from what I know, which is not, I only know what I found out today when I saw people talking about it, but it seems to me like he got caught doing that and was immediately fired, which is what should happen, right? This isn't a Penn State thing where they tried to cover it up and he stayed employed for 30 years. But yeah, if that guy did what he's accused of doing, he's the lowest form of, scum that there is. No question. No question. Senor Dog, thank you for the super chat. Taking my daughter to the game this weekend, and it's homecoming for them, dogs. And from experience, there won't be a single seat available. Dogs by 50. Yeah, I can guarantee you there won't be a single seat available in Sanford Stadium this Saturday for a game between two top 15 teams. I can guarantee you that. But I hope y'all have a good time. I'm sure y'all will. I think the weather's supposed to be pretty good on Saturday, too, like low 70s, I think, on Saturday in Athens. I looked the other day just out of curiosity, so it should be a great day for some football up there. Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou. You're muted. You have to turn your microphone on in that. All right. I'll leave you in the back room for another hour and see if you can't get it figured out. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Yo, Uncle Lou, how you doing tonight? Good morning, all that.
Yeah, good morning.
Got some good games coming up this weekend. I think LSU takes it over Alabama. I think the key to LSU's defense is that they have to play like a lot of too high safety stuff, limit the big play, limit Milroe's opportunity to push the ball downfield, because I think if they can keep him in the quick and intermediate game, he'll give the ball over a couple times, and that'll do it.
Yeah.
Bedlam also, that's going to be hell on wheels.
Oh man, you know what? That might be the game I'm most excited for this weekend. There might be some better games. There might be, games where the teams are ranked higher or whatever, but this is a huge in-state rivalry game, conference game. Both of these teams Oklahoma and Oklahoma State are tied currently for first place in the Big 12. And on top of all that, it's the last year these two teams are playing because Oklahoma's bolting for the SEC and Oklahoma State's mad and won't agree to schedule them anymore. So there's just a lot of like extra ammunition piled onto this game on top of all the stuff that's normally there from just being a rivalry game. I think this is going to be an extremely competitive and heated game. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, and you got two teams going in the opposite directions too.
Oklahoma's seems that way.
Reeling.
Yeah.
And Mike Gundy, he has OSU ascending right now. I mean, like, he's a man. He's almost 60 now, but it's like you pointed out a few times. Like, it seems like after week 3 or 4 or something like that, he's got the team headed in the right direction again. So
yeah,
I don't know what happened, but clearly something happened because they're headed in the right direction. Anyway, yeah, I'll let you get to the other callers here, but Sunbelt Billy doesn't know what he's doing.
Facts. All right, thank you for the call, buddy. Good morning, you're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, good morning, Uncle Lou.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, Michigan's a bunch of low-down, dirty cheaters, ain't they?
They cheated. It's just what it is. I mean, there's just no denying it at this point. Most people can look out their window and tell if it's raining. Not about 99% of people can look out their window and tell if it's raining. The other 1%, they have to go outside and get wet before they're convinced. That's Michigan fans right now.
Absolutely. And they keep thinking that everyone just hates their program and that's why everyone's piling on.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Two things can be true at once. They are not mutually exclusive.
Right.
Yes, we do hate you, Michigan, but you're also a bunch of good for nothing, gutless, useless fucking cheaters as well. They're both true. Anyway, hey, Lou, going on about this Missouri-Georgia game, I think that there is no easier way to spot a fake in the college football content world than to wait for someone to say, Missouri always plays Georgia tough.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, these people, you either just started this year or you just don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because if anyone hasn't looked it up, since Kirby's first national championship run in 2017, the Dogs are beating Missouri by an average margin of 3 touchdowns.
Right.
So, I mean, last year was a complete anomaly, and honestly, it's probably the worst thing that Missouri could have done, because now if they had gotten blown out like they should have last year, maybe they would have been able to sneak up on Georgia, but that's just not going to fucking happen this year. Georgia is not looking past them at all. And I don't think that the spread is really enough, but if there are, look, and here's the other thing. I don't even know if there are any Missouri men out there. I don't know any personally, but I think all the people that are cheering for Missouri are really just cheering against Georgia. They're not actually Missouri fans, which is why a lot of them try to convince themselves that Missouri always plays Georgia close.
Yeah, there's two things people want on a Saturday when they sit down to watch college football. They want their team to win, and they want Georgia to lose. Now, that's not anything against Georgia in particular. Everybody always feels that way about whoever's on top. And in Georgia's case, they haven't lost. They've won 25 games in a row, 41 of their last 42, whatever it is. I mean, so, yeah, if it was another team that was on that streak, everybody would be waiting on that team to lose too. But yeah, you're right. People can't wait for Georgia to lose.
I do actually think, as a community of Georgia fans, we may owe Michigan somewhat of a thank you, and I'll tell you why. Because all these Big Ten programs are petitioning Tony Petitti to do something about Michigan now, like right now. But Tony Petitti represents the Big Ten Conference, and if there's one thing we know about the Big Ten Conference is that they're all soft. So therefore, Tony Petitti must be a soft representative, and he's not going to do anything to Michigan. And if Michigan ends up making it into the playoffs, we need to write them a thank you note as Georgia fans, because they may very well be the only team in the country that if Georgia were to play, people would be rooting for the Dogs rather than against them.
Now that would be interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting point there. I wonder. Yeah, it would be pretty split. I think you would still have a lot of people that just tired of seeing Georgia win and would want something different. But you're right. There would be a lot of people that would be rooting against Michigan and if they get into the playoffs. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, Ohio State could dribble down their leg again this year against Georgia and still go into the championship game sitting on their couch, but wanting Georgia to win. So that tells you all you need to know. That's all I got, Lou.
All right, buddy.
Good morning.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming on. Good to hear from you. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hello, Uncle Lou. How
Hello.
are you, sir?
Doing great.
Good. Man, the Michigan man must really want to be the Northwestern man after what that idiot did today now, don't he?
What somebody did something today?
No, I'm talking about the guy that wanted to kiss a 13-year-old girl.
Oh, well, apparently that happened a while ago. Yeah. People just found out about it today, but yeah, that didn't happen today.
Yeah, that's what I meant by the Northwestern man. He wants to be like the Northwestern man.
Yeah, well, with the ding-a-ling car wash, or the Northwestern man, the Penn State man, the Ohio State man, the Michigan State man. I mean, over half the schools it's in the Big Ten East especially, but about half the schools in the Big Ten seem to have some kind of problem with sexual deviancy.
For sexuality or whatever.
Yeah, I just named them. Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan State, Northwestern. These are all schools that have had sexual deviance problems over the last however many years.
It is very weird.
It's alarming.
It is so
what
weird.
It is. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, don't forget Ohio State man with Jeffrey Dahmer. You educated me on that the last time I called in.
Yeah, he went to Ohio State. Yeah,
and ate people's dead wieners.
Yes, he did.
That's weird.
It's just a fact.
That's very weird. So yeah. Alex Ude, that's the guy's name. Well, buddy, it was nice knowing you for about 2 seconds, but YCIO, your career's over. And yeah, that's about it, Uncle Lou. I'm gonna go take a massive LSU right now.
Okay. Thank you for the call. Connor the Stallion is on the line. Good morning, Connor.
What's up, Uncle Lou?
What's up?
Hey, man, I told you last time, man, I'm embracing this shit.
Yeah, well, I can respect that. Yeah.
Look, man, if we win this chip, you might as well call us the Death Star and Jim Harbaugh's Emperor Palpatine, all right? I'm cool being a bad guy, man. Fuck it, this is where we at, so might as well embrace it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, we had Tom Cruise, a.k.a. Connor Stallions, in Mission Impossible.
Ethan Hunt.
Pulling off full-on disguises, man.
Yeah.
I said, man, you can't make this up.
And rumor is Central Michigan's not the only sideline he's been on.
Yeah, I haven't heard that rumor. What other? I wouldn't be surprised. Let me lay that out there. What other sideline did you hear?
I don't know, but and this has been going on for more than this goes back to last season and the season before. So you may find out something about Connor Stallions on somebody else's sideline last season.
Look, I wouldn't be surprised, bro. This dude was a straight up MI6 MI6 agent for the University of Michigan. I mean, this story, man, is going to be talked about to the end of college football times. Do you not agree?
I do agree. I definitely agree.
Like, it's crazy, man.
It really is wild. It really is unbelievable. Yeah.
I mean, the disguise, man. Look, the dude's bald, by the way, so that means he wore a wig.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he had Ray-Ban sunglasses on.
The recording kind.
I mean, what are we doing here? I would love to know how he got on that sideline. That's the mystery I want to know.
Yeah.
Because he had a VB pass, not a sideline pass. He had a VB pass, visitor bench pass, which is only given to visiting coaches. I would love to know how he pulled it out, because he was dumb enough to put his name on tickets he bought, but he was smart enough to not put his name on any lists.
Yeah.
For that game. So all of a sudden he's a genius? I don't get it.
Well, he either snuck on or somebody on that staff let him on. One of the two.
And you know what? The more it drags on, man, the more interesting it gets. Because they still haven't. Well, we know it's him, but they haven't confirmed or denied it's him.
Well,
and it's been what, 3 days?
To me, that's why I'm confident it is him, because like I just can't.
Oh, it's him.
There can't be a football staff in the country. Like, in other words, I could walk up to Kirby Smart right now and show him a picture of any of his coaches, and he would immediately go, "Oh yeah, that's Steve. Oh yeah, that's John. Whatever." The fact that Central Michigan doesn't know who that guy is 72 hours after the fact tells me it's Connor Stallions.
Oh, it is 100% him.
Yeah.
Now, look, man, at this point I want the best, because they're gonna make a movie. So at this point I want the best script that's gonna happen in reality. So if Michigan goes 15-0, wins the chip, and they just the bad guys, the villains, right?
Yeah.
Connor Stallions. You see that picture of mine? I want that statue in front of the stadium.
So, you know who should play Jim Harbaugh? You know who would make a good Jim Harbaugh? I think is Al Pacino.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah,
that's like a mob boss.
Says Jim Harbaugh. We got to get a younger guy to play Connor Stallions. Maybe like you mentioned Tom Cruise, or maybe a Matt Damon. One of these.
I was thinking. I was thinking de-age Leonardo DiCaprio a little bit.
Yeah,
I think that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a perfect Connor Stallions. Like, you know that movie Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah.
It'd be just like that. I mean, that's what we're doing right now. I mean, where's it? First of all, I want to know. First of all, this guy, when this is all said and done, he's gonna make a lot of money.
We're gonna get Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock's gonna play Ryan Day.
Oh shit! Oh my lord. That's a good one, Uncle Lou. I ain't gonna lie. Uncle Lou, that's a good one, man.
We're having a lot of fun picking on Michigan fans, but we can't forget to troll Ohio State every once in a while, too.
Well, you know what? I wonder what that conference call was like with Ryan Day yesterday.
Oh, God. I would have loved to have been on that thing.
You think he was crying?
I would have given any amount of money to be on that call.
I bet you the two biggest complainers were Ryan Day and James Franklin. 100%.
Yeah, you think so?
Well, definitely Ryan Day. We already know that. Yeah. He probably had a tissue box right next to him, ready to go.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was on FaceTime, I think, face call. So you know he had them tears ready to roll, man. You know he had them tears ready to roll, man. He had to switch out his Tampax a couple times. So I'm just saying, man. But the Big Ten commissioner, I guess, is he's meeting with our president tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. So in the conference call tonight with the ADs, the one that happened today, they said they want the kids to still play, but they want Jim Harbaugh to be punished. That was their main thing. They want Jim Harbaugh punished.
Yeah.
So I think it sounds like they're looking for a suspension.
Yeah, well, maybe they can split the difference, because there's some people that want Michigan barred from the Big Ten title game or the postseason. There's some people that don't want any punishment at all. Maybe you split the difference by just saying, okay, we're going to let the team play out the season however it goes, but Harbaugh's out.
That's anticlimactic for the movie, man. We can't have that. They got to get to the playoff, man. It will make the movie that much better, man.
Yeah. We'll see.
You know what I'm saying? You can't have a bad guy, a villain story, and they don't even get to the end of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's boring. All right, man, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Like I said, yeah, we cheaters. Do something about it.
All right.
Do something about it.
Look, you don't have to agree with that guy, but I think there's only two possible. Like, if you're a Michigan fan, you either have to do what that guy's doing, or you have to you have to be on the side of punishment. These Michigan fans that are running around pretending like Michigan didn't do anything wrong, those are the idiots. Those are the idiots, not that guy. At least, that guy admits it and just says, fuck it. What are you going to do? I can respect that. I can respect Michigan fans who go, man, this is bad. This is a bad look. We cheated. We should be punished. I can respect those two. Michigan fans who know they cheated and think they should be punished. Michigan fans who know they cheated and think they shouldn't, like the caller. It's these Michigan fans that keep running around quoting the Constitution and shit. Like, what about due process? And what about this? And you can't prove that's Connor Stallion. Y'all cheated, man. Like, you have to have your head so far buried in the sand at this point as a Michigan fan to not even think that you cheated, that I don't see how you managed to breathe on your own. Michigan cheated. No, it doesn't happen everywhere. No, not everybody is doing that. All these excuses y'all are coming up with. Michigan cheated. They gamed the system. It was an elaborate plan. They cheated, period. So I can respect whatever side Michigan fans come down. They want punishment. They don't. I can respect that. The Michigan fans with the head in the sand, we didn't do nothing. What'd we do? Show me the bylaw that where we did. You cheated, man. It's plain as fucking day. Like, those are the ones that need help. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Oh, good morning, Uncle Lou. So actually my first time calling in.
Yeah, I appreciate you taking the time.
So first off, since we just had a Michigan fan on here, I guess we'll go ahead and start with them. I think that what they're gonna do is kind of delay Michigan's punishment and let them play out through the season, because ticket sales and money revenue, filling fans in the seats and people watching on TV. Because if they were to punish them now, people would kind of just give up on the season, stop watching, tuning in. In my opinion, kind of similar to what they did with the USC Trojans and Texas Longhorns back when they took it. Reggie Bush and investigated him. What was that, back in 2005? And they finally took the Heisman from him and punished USC, the whole program, for him getting money.
Well, that's what the NCAA is going to do for sure. It just takes too long. The NCAA is not choosing to do that. The NCAA process is too long for the NCAA to punish Michigan right now. There's no time. If Michigan were to if the NCAA were to charge Michigan with something tomorrow, by rule, Michigan gets, I think it's 90 days to review those charges and respond. Well, by that 90 days, the season is over. There's nothing the NCAA can do this season, not because they're worried about TV ratings, but because they can't. The only governing body that can do anything during the season is the Big Ten.
Okay.
And I don't think they're going to do anything at all.
It doesn't look like they're going to. If they were to do something, it would have been done already, because, like you said, there's plenty of evidence, clear cut, to where they should either punish Jim Harbaugh, punish the program, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But we'll see how the season ends up playing out. I think, for college football fans, we still want to see good games, and, but at the end of the day, everybody's going to know, Michigan cheated, whether to get them or not. But I do feel sorry for the kids who probably didn't know anything about it, that's in that program, that, you know what I mean, unfortunately. But there's the portal, the transfer portal. So, for the young guys in there, they can transfer out and go elsewhere. For these games coming up, where everyone's talking about Bedlam, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, I think that's going to be, I really don't know who to pick in that game, because I remember, I'm a Longhorn fan, and I remember when the last time Texas and Texas A&M play each other, for Texas A&M left for the SEC. It's pretty much going to be, like you said, not only a rivalry game, but they're going to leave everything on the line.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma does have better, I would say, talent, but they haven't been playing up to par as of the past 2 weeks. So we'll see how they get rebound from that loss, tough loss against Kansas at home. And but that's definitely going to be, was that a noon game? Definitely, or was that 3:00, 3:30 game? It was definitely going to be a good game to watch. And I would like to see LSU win out and win the West for a rematch between Georgia and LSU in the SEC title. See if Georgia can rebound that 2019 embarrassment, and beat down on the Tigers.
Well, we
and
beat them
kinda-
last year. We already revenged that. That's in the
Okay.
past. We beat the soul out of them. I mean,
Okay,
we were beating them by 30-something points at halftime last year, and then
Okay.
yeah. So we already
Okay,
did that. But yeah, it wouldn't be no problem to beat them again.
Oh, right. When they say they have a better offense, this year as well. So I think that those are
think
the
they
two
do.
teams that I see going to the SEC for the SEC West representative and SEC East. And I know it's not on the Week 10 schedule, but how you always mention and talk about Pac-12 being in a blender this year, because there's so many good teams over there. Would you hold the same regard for the SEC for next year? How it's going to be a blender with no divisions?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because not only are you doing away with divisions, you're adding two most likely top 15 type teams into the mix as well, with Oklahoma and Texas. So it's going to be interesting. I think it might take a couple of years in the SEC. I heard some disappointing news too. And I hope this isn't true, that the SEC is going to stick with an 8-game conference schedule. I really hope that's not. We're already doing it next year, but it was supposed to be just a 1-year deal because they couldn't agree. So they said, okay, 1 year we'll do the 8 games, then we'll revisit it and look to move to 9 games. And where did I hear that they're not moving to I forget where I heard that now. Maybe somebody else's podcast or something. I don't remember, but apparently they're going to decide to stay at an 8-game conference schedule. That's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, go ahead, because
that is disheartening for like a college football fan. That's disheartening. No, that's fine. I hope they revisit that. That's not true.
Great. We get to play Texas once every decade. That's amazing.
Right.
We could have played Texas more if they just stayed in the Big 12 than that.
Right.
I mean, this is just fucking pointless. But you got too many pussy ass coaches and programs in the SEC that are fucking scared of 9 games, like Nick Saban, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Kentucky.
I think Lane Kiffin will be up for it, but the problem with Lane Kiffin is just going to keep getting beat down. But as a college football fans, who regardless of your team, you like to see talent versus talent. You hear about all these 5-star and 4-star recruits on these teams, so you like to see those face off against each other. And like you said, that would be disheartening. Very unfortunate. But they are implementing we might get to see it since they are implementing the 12 team playoff system.
Yeah.
So that could be a possibility to where it kind of rectifies itself. And then also, I had some for you. Just as a college football fan, you watching college football for many years, I started myself seeing a shift when talent was across the country. As far as you really didn't know who was going to be number 1, number 2 when it was the BCS title game and stuff like that, and then it really hard shifted to the SEC. And I think since the transfer portal, NIL, and all that stuff, I kind of see that spreading back out, the pendulum swinging back to like across the country, especially with Oklahoma and Texas going to SEC, and USC. I forget who else is going to the Big Ten. But I mean, I think it's going to be, I don't know if they do that for like TV ratings or, what the details are in it, but I think there's going to be, the talent's going to get spread back out over the course of maybe 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, college football's always been cyclical. I mean, the SEC has dominated for the last 25 years, but they haven't dominated for the last 125 years. So it'll turn back around eventually, whether it's because NIL or transfer portal or anything else remains to be seen, but the SEC won't be on top forever. Hey, thank you for the call. It was good to hear from you. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
What's going on, Uncle Lou?
Hey, buddy.
I was thinking about Heisman's, and I was not in particular order, but I was thinking the ones that I was thinking of. You want me to tell you the ones I'm thinking of?
Nothing would make me happier, buddy.
Michael Penix, Marvin Harrison, Carson Beck, and J.J. McCarthy, in no particular order.
All right.
Now, tell me what you would rank those candidates as through 1 through 4.
You want me to rank your Heisman contenders 1 through 4?
Yes, if you don't mind.
Well, I'm not really interested in ranking other people's Heisman contenders.
Well, okay. I mean, I couldn't really place a ranking on. I couldn't really put them in a particular order because it's like I know Carson Beck's good. I know Michael Penix is good. I know Marvin Harrison is the soul of that team, and I know JJ McCarthy's had a really good year and hasn't had a loss yet.
Right.
So that's what I'm basing it off of. Where I would have put Bo Nix up there, but he lost.
Yeah.
And that's just me. Oh, and the cheating stuff with Michigan. Well, with Michigan, it's kind of like if you watch WWE. It's about attraction.
I'm 45 years old, buddy. I'm 45 years old.
Okay.
So I don't watch wrestling.
Okay. I'm just saying it's about attraction, and they're never going to let Michigan get like ousted from a champion game or a national title or a playoff because they're an attraction. They bring in too much money for what they do because Michigan is a top 5, top 4, or top 3 team in the country. So I can't see not the NCAA do anything, but the Big Ten do anything because they're scared that they're going to lose money if they do anything this season.
What money would they lose?
Oh, they would lose a lot of money.
How?
Just marketing. It's like Michigan brings in a lot of money, like how they've been last year, the year before. They've been making it to the playoffs. They've been beating Ohio State. It brings in a lot of money, and especially for their stadium, it puts in a lot of asses to seats.
The Big Ten gets money no matter who gets into the playoffs. You don't get more or less money based on which team gets in. If they bar Michigan and Ohio State gets in, the Big Ten makes the same amount of money.
So viewership ratings would not matter for Big Ten
teams
in
don't
general.
get paid. Teams don't get paid more or less based on how many people watch the game.
Oh, I'm not talking about teams. I'm talking about the Big Ten in general. The organization.
The TV ratings. The TV rating contract is signed through 2035. When they get ready to redo the TV contract in 2036, whether or not Michigan made the playoffs in 2023 isn't going to have anything to do with those TV contracts in 2036. Hey,
Okay.
thank you for the call. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Lou is gay.
What? Is it summertime? Aren't these kids supposed to be in bed? What's going on? Hey, put your dad on the phone so I can tell him what a fucking failure he is. Put your dad on the phone, dumbass. Your dad is a fucking failure. Put him on the phone. Put him on the phone. I'm not asking. I'm telling you, son. Put your father on the phone. Well, you probably don't know who your father is. That might be the problem. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, what up, Lou?
What's up?
So, Tennessee bounced back.
Do what?
Took me calling and having you flip the helmet upside down for them to finally win a road game.
Yeah, barely over Kentucky. That's amazing. Devin Leary looked like Joe Montana.
I know, but we needed a win. Bad. But I was at that game, and I will say this: Kentucky's atmosphere is pretty good. Not saying it's like compared to Neyland, or I'm not making excuses. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is being at my first road or second road game, it was a really good atmosphere.
Yeah, that's great. Now, can y'all beat UConn this week?
Oh, we'll beat them by 70 points.
Okay, good. Great. That's amazing.
And then we'll beat Missouri.
Georgia doesn't play anybody. Who do you play this week?
We play UConn.
Thank you for the call. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
All right, finally got the mic situation. But yeah, I want to ask you Let me ask. So I know you don't like the oh well, if this team goes 12-1, but I'm just kind of like asking you, I guess, what you think. So say for instance that the Big Ten or not the Big 12, they play themselves out, and somehow Florida State plays themselves out. Do you think the Pac-12 could ever get like two teams like the way the SEC has, or do you think if there was like an 11-1 Ohio State or Michigan
not this year
versus like a 12-1 like Washington?
No. First of all, Florida State. So you think Florida State's losing two games?
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I was kind of just wondering, like, do you think that the committee respects the Pac-12 as a conference enough to ever put two teams in?
I don't really think the conference as a whole matters. There are, I mean, if Oregon and Washington are both good teams, they'll both get in. It doesn't matter that they're in the Pac-12. Has a one-loss Pac-12 team ever not made it in? No,
because the only two times it was a 12-1 conference. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So
since like 2016, I think they have. But yeah, I agree with you. But the other thing was, I was at the Florida game with South Carolina because I'm here in Columbia. I was at the Florida game. I left when it was 37-27. They lost in like 10 minutes, bro.
You missed the good part. You missed the comeback.
It was. I was curious actually because you had the next call. You said something about Columbia being, because I'm from Columbia. You were like, Columbia's like just a shithole, and then I was like, damn. But then I walked outside and I was like, damn, bro, Uncle Lou might be right.
Well, look, that's just trash talk. Now, in all reality, I don't like South Carolina's campus, not because it's ugly or it stinks or anything like that. I don't like college campuses that are in the middle of big towns. That's just a personal thing of mine. I like the kind of idea of the kind of, college campus in a small town somewhere, Athens, Tuscaloosa, Auburn, Alabama, stuff like that. I don't like Georgia Tech either because it's in the middle of a city. To me, that's, just personal preference, but I just trash Columbia for trash talk. I don't have no problem.
Have you ever been to a game at Williams-Brice?
Yeah. I was in like 5th grade though.
Damn, man. But all right, that's all I had to ask you. But go ahead. Oh, wait, no, one more thing. Oh, Antonio Williams on Clemson number 0?
Yeah.
The one that was like, he played with Jalen Hyatt in high school?
No, I didn't know that.
No, that's crazy. But anyway, yeah, man, have a good call, Uncle Lou.
All right, buddy. Appreciate you coming on, man. Good to hear from you. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, man. Hey, Uncle Lou, actual Mizzou fan here. How about that?
Amazing.
Anyway, I want to talk about Connor Stallions. The guy's dedicated. He's resourceful. Yeah. He's great at marketing. He just obviously got too greedy on the fucking reward points on his credit card.
Right.
Anyway, also, I keep hearing about, the kids didn't know. The kids didn't know. You mean to tell me that guy standing next to the offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator during the game doesn't know who the players are and the players don't know who he is? Get the fuck out of here with that.
What do you mean, the Michigan
other
players?
Than that, Mizzou's going to go down to Athens. They're going to line up and they're going to punch you guys right in the face.
Right.
Yeah. The Michigan players. Yeah, they knew what that guy was doing on the sidelines right next to the offensive coordinator. He's right there.
Right.
Come on.
Well, even if they didn't know, that doesn't matter to me. If I buy,
like I said, Mizzou's going to punch you guys right in the face. This isn't Colorado. Well, I mean, I'm just saying they did know. So, I mean, come on, he's right there. Everybody knows he's right there. Like I said, Mizzou's going to make this home 42-38. Cook's going to go 2 touchdown passes. He's going to run one in. White Randy there. Schrader's going to get 2 TDs as well. Luther Burden will get 100 yards, maybe a touchdown. What do you say?
You're living in a fantasy world.
I see. Well, hey man, we'll see what happens, right? That's why they play the game on Saturday.
That is why they play the game. Unfortunately, Missouri's just extremely outmatched in this game. You don't have the talent, the coaching, the players, nothing. So it is what it is.
We'll see. Hold on, I gotta untuck my chain. There we go. Right on. Anyway, thanks for the call, Uncle Lou. Have a great weekend, man.
All right, you
It'll
too,
be a good game on Saturday.
Yeah, you too, buddy. I appreciate you. Appreciate you calling in. Call me next week and talk shit. If y'all win, I'll be here. I promise you. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Yo, that last caller was funny as fuck, Lou. But what is it? I gotta ask you one thing. Who do you think's gonna be in the playoffs this year?
If I had to pick right now, I'd go. I'm staying with Texas because that was a preseason pick of mine, but it doesn't look good. I don't know. They might lose this weekend. But anyway, so for now, I'm going to go with Georgia, Texas, Michigan, and Southern. Those were three of my preseason picks, and they're all still alive. My fourth preseason pick was Southern Cal. They're obviously out. So for my fourth,
Right.
I think I'm gonna go with Florida State.
Oof.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the Big 12 eliminates themselves and you end up with Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, Oregon.
That's not bad. But what is it? So I don't know if you were looking at the Colorado game, but they were back at it again, talking trash, and knowing Dion fans.
Yeah, they host Oregon State this week.
Oh yeah, I mean, what is it? From the games that I've seen between Colorado and their opponents and Oregon State and their opponents, I think Oregon State's gonna whoop Colorado. I mean, I hate Colorado. I didn't hate Colorado before Dion came, but I just hate Dion because
At least you're honest.
I mean, fuck him. I mean, I don't care. I mean, think about it. They were a decent football team before he came, at least in attitude. But then when he came, they just started acting like a bunch of retards. Run around with fucking hands down their ankles.
Oh no.
But what is it? If I had to choose who will win the college football playoffs, I'd probably either go with your Bulldogs or Michigan. I don't know. I mean, I don't really pay much attention to the big schools and all that because, trying to focus on my team, even though we suck.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to expand my knowledge because I got nothing else better to do on my team. But yeah, to Dion fans and all you cringe fans of Colorado, y'all suck. That's all I gotta say.
All right, buddy. Good luck to Syracuse with whatever it is they're doing this weekend. Good morning, but you're on with Uncle Lulo.
What's going on, Uncle Lou? It's your favorite Florida fan.
What's up? What's up, Octavian?
This 5-star card. That's right. Look, that was I didn't know that was fucking Missouri fans alive on this fucking planet.
Oh yeah, they're
Did you know
out
that?
there. They're around. They're around.
I didn't fucking know that.
There's not a ton of them, but they're around.
That fucking Missouri fan is absolutely hilarious. I can't wait till next week, not the week after, so me and him can go at it on this show right here. Me and him, can you schedule that? Me and him go out versus each other so I can rip him apart.
Well, you already know. I'll let you go at it with anybody you want to.
And I'm sitting here watching this Troy and South Alabama game. It's getting good here. But anyway, I just hate Florida State, man. I just really want to know what game do you see them losing? I really do. I hate those motherfuckers.
I don't think they're gonna lose.
You're not giving us a chance in the swamp?
No. Now that would be hilarious, but no.
Like I said the other day, if I see Georgia and Florida State in the national championship game, I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. And yeah, I can't do it. But then again, I wish the SEC champion, whoever that is, good luck against Florida State.
I appreciate that, Octavian, because you know it's going to be Georgia. You already know.
I can't say that. I can't say it. I can't. I see us beating Arkansas this weekend, 38-17 or something like that. 38-17, we bounce back.
800 yards rushing for Florida.
No, we gonna pass it this week, man. We gonna open up the passing game this week.
900 yards passing this week.
No, we're gonna say 350 passing.
350 passing, 600 rushing.
350. No, not 600 rushing. Not that. We're gonna rush for like 150 yards.
Okay.
We're gonna have a decent day.
Yeah.
This gonna be one of our bounce back games, better games that we played all season.
Yeah.
We wearing all black. As you know, we wearing all black this week.
Well,
All
that's
black
good
for the
because
Gators
if
this
y'all lose, it might be Billy Napier's funeral.
Yeah, it will be Billy Napier's funeral.
Can't be losing at
It
home to
will.
Arkansas. They don't have a
No, they
SEC
can't.
win. They haven't won an SEC game.
No, they have not won the SEC game. And guess what? I think we get Sam Pittman as as an offensive line coach for next year.
He'd be a good one.
Yeah, we need him on the offensive line, and guess what? We might get Joe Scott as our offensive coordinator, but we'll never know.
Yeah.
Sources
Well,
say that we
Christmas
might
is
get
coming
we
up,
might.
so you go ahead and put it. Just make your wish list. Thank you, Octavian. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Man, Luke, what up, big dog?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Man, nothing much chilling. Hey, to the Missouri fan, unless Michael Sam coming back, boy, I ain't got no chance, dog. Hey, we ain't got to worry about all that. But nah, man, I ain't talked to you in a minute. Just wanted to check in and hey, hope all is well, big dog. And we don't, yeah.
All good with me. Dogs are undefeated. Looks like another championship season to me. So from where I sit, the skies are clear.
Hey, continue with the good commentary, and we'll go from there.
All right, buddy.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. Be good.
All right, buddy. Appreciate you coming on, man. Good to hear from you again. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Lou, it's Rob, big Texas fan. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Horns down. Does that make you mad? Does that make you mad?
No, it doesn't. I'm a reasonable fan.
You want the number? You want the number to the
this
SEC office so you can start calling them?
I'm sorry?
You want the number to the SEC office so you can start calling them to complain about Uncle Lou saying horns down?
No, I think that's as long as it's not like they're shoving it in like a player's face. Like they could do it to the
They're
crowd.
going to do
I have
that.
no
That's
problem
going to
with that.
happen. Well, that's going to happen. So.
Yeah, and like I said, I have no problem with that. I think part of that is like we have such a recognizable hand sign, so it's like easy. You know what I mean?
Well,
like not a lot.
Well, people do it because they know it bothers you. That's why
Yeah,
they do it.
it doesn't bother me. Like
it
if we
bothers
suck,
you.
it doesn't bother me.
Y'all been calling the Big 12 office and crying about it for a decade every time somebody does this, and that's in the Big 12. If you can't handle Kansas doing this, wait until you've got 100,000 people doing this.
Why are you hating right now?
I'm not hating. I'm getting you prepared.
I don't give a shit because we're gonna be pretty well when we get to the SEC. I think we're gonna be the top third of the teams. Do you doubt that or?
Well, I mean, I don't want to start getting into predicting next season. I mean, we don't know who's leaving, who's coming back, not just on Texas, but on all these other teams.
Well, I'll just tell you, we'll be on a total reload next year because all our star guys are going into the league.
Well, then no, you won't be. Then no, you won't be a top 4 team. Is that what you said? Top 4 team in the SEC? No, not if what you say is true and it's a total reload. No.
Yeah, you're probably right. But anyways,
5 or 6. I mean, Texas isn't going to be terrible. A lot of it has to do with the schedule. I know we know who Texas is playing, but another big part of that is when do you play those teams? Is there a stretch of let's say you look at Texas SEC schedule. We know the teams, we don't know the dates.
Yeah.
Let's say there's 5 difficult games on there. Well, what if 3 of them are in a row? Well, then that makes then you have to take those kinds of things into account.
On top of the head, obviously the hardest game is Georgia coming into town next year.
Yeah, I mean, but you get them at home. So, what if, and I don't know, I'm just making this up. But, for example, there's a difference between playing Georgia at home versus playing Georgia at home and then playing Tennessee on the road. Or maybe you play Georgia at home and then you play Vandy on the road. Like, things like that. I have to look at things like that before I try to figure out, what Texas might do next year.
You just automatically started with the horns down. Like, that doesn't bother me, at all.
I was just testing you there. I
hear you. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I wanted to talk to you. This K-State game scares the absolute shit out of me.
They're red hot, man. No joke.
Yes, they are super red hot, and then Texas defense struggles with running quarterbacks. Obviously, we saw Gabriel scramble for 110 plus yards out of the pocket, and now they have a white Lamar Jackson, that freshman. Have you seen some film on that Avery Johnson guy?
No.
The dude is absolutely blazing.
Yeah, I've never watched a second of film.
Or just highlights or anything of any K-State games.
I watch games. Yes, I watch.
Yeah,
games,
that Avery
highlights.
Johnson guy. He's got to be a 4.3, 4.4 guy as a true freshman. I don't think he can pass. Good news is we've beat K-State 6 years in a row. the reason we beat them last year was heavy doses of Bijan and Roshan. They're both in the league right now, and I think Jonathan Brooks is good.
Oh,
I
he's
don't
really
think he's
good.
as
I like
as
Jonathan
those two
Brooks.
guys. Yeah. But I just want to hear your thoughts. I know you
I think
watched your
Texas
video
should
on the
lean
10
on
minutes.
him this week. I think Texas should lean on Jonathan Brooks this week because
Yeah,
this is a
absolutely.
big game. Malik Murphy, I mean, he kind of mixed reviews from last week, but he can run around.
He made some terrible mistakes. Like he even threw some passes that were just like the receivers.
That
and
interception he
the
threw
tight
was
ends
horrible.
bailed him out.
Like, I'm not going to lie and pretend like I watched every snap of the game, but I watched a lot of
Yeah.
it. And, like, that interception he threw was terrible, man. Like,
Terrible,
really bad.
absolutely. Like it was like, what are you doing? Like, what? Either just take the sack and punt, or like,
Yeah.
I mean, that was just awful.
But that's
And,
what that's what happens when you play an inexperienced quarterback a lot of times. You
Yeah.
know, so not that you have to be happy about that, but you have to be willing to accept that when you're playing an inexperienced quarterback. But I would lean on Jonathan Brooks to running game because Malik Murphy can run around
absolutely.
too. You know, but he's going to have to make some plays.
If I'm K-State, I'm loading the box and I'm making Malik Murphy try to beat us.
Oh, for sure.
And
Yeah.
We need the crowd to absolutely show up big time. And to be perfectly honest with you, I laid a bet on Kansas State winning outright. So I took that money, and then I hope the boys win. So it's like win or lose either way. You know what I mean? Because I think the defense struggles against running quarterbacks, and this is what K-State does for a living with Will Howard and Avery Johnson. And thank God they have a really good tight end, not great receivers. But our secondary has been we're banged up in the secondary, so like they might catch us there too. But Sarkisian needs to pull some shit out of his ass and actually, I don't know if you've been watching our red zone offense has been absolutely atrocious this season. So he needs to take the points or field goals and not go for it on fourth down and keep giving them the ball.
Yeah.
But
it's gonna be
I saw your thoughts about it. This game absolutely scares the shit out of me, and I think it might ruin because if we lose this, we're not going to get in the Big 12 because they'll have a half a game ahead of us.
Right.
So this is a de facto playoff game. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and Oklahoma, this one, and then the Oklahoma State-Oklahoma game, and then you also have to play Iowa State, who also has one loss.
Iowa State, TCU, and Tech. So this is our last big hurdle. So after this, we have TCU at their place, we have Iowa State at their place, and then we have Tech at home.
Yeah.
So to me, this is the last big hurdle. You know what I mean?
You're not worried about Iowa State? They're tied for first place. Iowa State is.
Well, they're playing KU, and they have KU at Ames this weekend, and I actually put in KU's actually the underdog. KU's +3 at Ames, so I put $100 on KU +3. So hopefully that works out. But, I'm just scared absolutely shitless. Maybe you can talk to me not to feel bad. I think we have better athletes all across the board, but of course we don't have a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So,
well, look, I picked Texas to make the playoffs in the preseason. I'm still riding. I'm still riding with them. I've got them winning this weekend, but it is not going to be easy. This is a tough task here.
If this game scares the absolute shit out. I was cautiously optimistic versus Bama. We won that. I was kind of cautiously optimistic versus OU. Of course, we lost that on the last second fucking play. I'm still pissed about that. I thought we were the better team, but with the turnovers, that's football.
And there might have been some years in the past where like a team like Texas would have some type of like psychological edge over a team like Kansas State. But Kansas State won the Big 12 last year. The coach there has coached in the biggest games in every league he's ever been in. I mean, he was in a lower league, but he's played in the biggest of big games in every league he's been in.
To be honest with you, it's like what K-State has done the last, I guess forever, but especially the last 3 or 4 years, is taken 3 stars and 4 stars and making them superstars. You know what I mean? Like the player development. And I'm just real nervous about this game, Lou. And I put money on Texas to lose, but I'm still hoping for the boys to win.
I hear you, man. All right, man. Welcome to the SEC, and good luck to Texas this weekend, buddy. And of course, horns down in that.
Good luck to your dogs.
Yeah, man. Appreciate the call. Man passed his test. See, with these Texas and OU fans coming into the SEC, Texas and OU fans are diehard college football fans. They'll fit into the SEC in terms of, they're lunatics, they're crazy, they're insane, they're maniacs, just like SEC fans are. But we got to test them when they first come in, So when you run into a Texas man, you got to give them the horns down. and see that, does he cry? Does he want to call the SEC office and tell on you? You got to find these things out, because we got to weed out the weak when it comes to the Texas and OU fans. But that guy passed the test. That guy passed the test in that, too, and also. Good morning, but you're on with Uncle Lou, though, and too, and also. Addition to that as well.
How did Central Michigan not notice that Connor Stallions is on the sidelines?
Well, that's one option, or that's one possibility. The other possibility is they did notice because they knew he was there.
Well, is that not even allowed?
No, that's not allowed. Nothing about anything Michigan has done in this scenario is allowed. None of it. It's all against the rules. It's all cheating. It's all against the spirit of the game. It's all underhanded. It's all a scheme. It's all a scam. All of it. 100% of it.
So did he just sneak in?
That's one possibility. The other possibility is they let him in.
I don't know how Central Michigan would let him in.
Well, where did Jim McElwain coach after he left Florida?
I don't know. I don't follow.
He coached at Michigan under Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, I don't.
There are a lot of connections on the Central Michigan staff to the Michigan staff. So it's possible that somebody on Central Michigan, whether it was Jim McElwain or somebody else, it's possible they just let him on. That's possible. Why has it been 3 days and Jim McElwain or nobody else from Central Michigan can come out and tell us who the fuck that is? What are they hiding now?
I agree. I think that is Stallions.
I do too. Of course. Look, if it wasn't Stallions, somebody from Central Michigan would have come out and immediately and went, "What do you mean, Connor Stallions? That's not Connor Stallions. That's Steve Stevenson. He's our ball boy, or he fucking juggles the nuts for the offensive, whatever the fuck." They would have told us who it was. Instead, they're like, "We've initiated an investigation." That's all I needed to hear. If you have to investigate to find out who one of your coaches is, it's not one of your coaches. It's Connor fucking Stallions.
Yeah. Do you think Michigan players deserve to be hurt by, as a punishment?
Do I think the players deserve to be hurt?
Yeah.
Let me ask you something.
They won't be able
Let me
to,
ask you something. Let me ask you something. If I buy a car, okay, and a week later, I buy a car off a Facebook Marketplace from some stranger, okay? Yeah. And a week later, the cops knock on my door and they say, "Lou, we got some bad news. That car you bought is stolen." Do I get to keep the car?
No.
No. Did I do anything wrong?
No.
No. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah. To me, I obviously think that this is cheating. They do deserve.
It is cheating.
Some type of punishment.
It wouldn't be a the players themselves wouldn't be targeted for punishment. But this is how punishment in college football works. The school is punished. So therefore, if you play for that school, while you're not being punished individually, you do suffer the consequences of that punishment. That's how this works. Michigan's no different than anybody else. Who on Tennessee's team right now, or Ole Miss's team 4 years ago, or whatever, that's just how this works. Jeremy Pruitt was fired. Tennessee still got hit with scholarship reductions, and that affects every player on the team. They had to pay an $8 million fine. The idea that we can't punish Michigan because the backup left guard didn't know Connor Stallions was cheating is ridiculous. You're not punishing the left guard. You're punishing Michigan's football program. And unfortunately, everybody underneath that is going to suffer the consequences. That's just how it works. Do I feel bad if Michigan were to get barred from the postseason? Would I feel bad for a J.J. McCarthy? Yeah, I would. But I don't feel bad for J.J. McCarthy to the point where I say, we can't punish Michigan because it might hurt J.J. McCarthy's feelings. No, sorry. This is how punishment works in college football. What's better, punish the players on the team now or punish the players that are on the team 3 years from now? Because that's the other alternative. We wait for the NCAA to do a 3-year investigation, then punish Michigan. Is that fair? No, it's less fair. It's the most amount of fair to punish the team now. The team that is cheating now. Michigan is cheating now. This year's team cheated. Did J.J. McCarthy go to a game and steal signs? No. So, like, is it his fault in particular? No.
No.
But this year's Michigan team cheated. This year's Michigan, the argument against these punishments has always been it's not fair to punish all these people who weren't involved. Okay, well, now people are suggesting that you punish the people that are involved, and still it's not fair. Fuck, life ain't fair.
Yep.
So, like, who do people? I mean, look, nothing's gonna happen. If Michigan doesn't end up in the playoffs, it's going to be because they lost to Ohio State. That's it. Period.
You don't think
this Petiti or Potato or Potato or Potato, whatever the fuck his name is, that's running the Big Ten shit show right now, ain't going to do shit. The Big Ten, they run around with their chest puffed out about how, they're above the fray, and it's all about the student athletes and the education and blah blah and the moral high ground. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit because there is not a rational human being on planet Earth right now that doesn't think Michigan cheated. And to sit back and not do anything about it tells us everything we need to know. And hey, that's fine. But I'll tell you this. If I'm a head coach at Penn State, if I'm James Franklin, guess what I'm doing?
Waiting.
Cheating from now on. That's what I'm doing.
Yep.
I can't get over the hump. I'm 10-2 every year. I keep losing to Ohio State and Michigan. Let me see what I can figure out because they're not going to do anything to me. So let me see how I can gain an edge here. Let me see what corners I can cut.
Yeah, and where the situation with, Harbaugh and everything, do you think that that Michigan will have like any punishment like with the postseason? Maybe not this year, but ever with this kind of deal, or do you think it's just gonna be like a slap on the wrist?
No, I think the NCAA is going to come down like a ton of bricks 3 years from now. They're still investigating Michigan from the 2020 COVID recruiting violations. They haven't finished that. That's from 3 years ago. The NCAA hasn't finished that investigation. So, yeah, something will happen to Michigan in 2027 about all this cheating they're doing now by the NCAA. The only person that can do anything about it this season is Petiti, the Big Ten commissioner, and I don't think he's going to do anything. So I don't think anything's happening this year. But Michigan cheated, and that's just what it is. And, to the Michigan fans that are crying about the way everybody's talking about them, you'd be doing the same thing if the shoe was on the other foot. If everything that has gone on at Michigan in the news over the last 2 weeks had happened at Ohio State, Michigan fans would be saying everything that Ohio State fans are saying now.
Yep.
And if Ohio State was doing it, Ohio State fans would be saying everything that Michigan fans are saying now. It would just be the opposite. Ohio State would be saying, we didn't do anything wrong. Prove it. Where's the bylaw? Where's the evidence? Due process. Not just Ohio State. Any fan base would be doing the same thing the Michigan fans are doing. And every other fan base is doing what, Michigan would be doing what everyone else is doing if it was someone else. It's just the way it is. But Michigan cheated. There's not anybody alive that doesn't know that.
Right. And if they didn't cheat, I don't think the past 2 years, the results of how their season was, I don't think that would change. Even if they didn't cheat, I think they would still, the results versus Ohio State would have been the same. Results in the Big Ten, and they would be in the playoff. Obviously, they didn't do too well.
Well, we might think that. We might think that, but you know who didn't think that?
Ryan Day.
Michigan. Michigan didn't think they could do it, or they wouldn't have done it. Michigan didn't think they could do those things without cheating, or they wouldn't have cheated.
Yep. I agree. And then I have one more thing. As an Alabama fan, I don't care where we're ranked. I really don't, because it's simple. I mean, for us, it's just win out and we're in.
Yeah, if Alabama wins its next 5 games, they're going to the playoffs. If they lose any of their next 5 games, they're not. It's that simple.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't care where we're ranked, but why in the world is Oklahoma not ahead of Texas? It's a double standard. Why is Texas ahead of Alabama, but Oklahoma isn't ahead of Texas?
It should be Oklahoma, Texas, Alabama. That's what it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma has the worst loss of the 3, so that's what's hurting them. But to me, beating Texas means more than losing to Kansas.
Right. And what do you think is going to happen? Do you think Oklahoma, like with the 4-way tie, what do you think is going to happen in the Big 12?
Well, there's a 5-way tie, but
there's a 5-way tie. Damn.
Yeah, Oklahoma State, Texas, Kansas State, Iowa State all have 1 loss, 1 Big 12 loss.
Wow.
So I think I think whoever wins the 2 games this weekend is playing for the Big 12 title. That's what I think. But it's not set in stone because Texas still has to play Iowa State. So, in other words, Texas could beat Kansas State, but then lose to Iowa State. Texas would be out. Iowa State would be in. But I think whoever wins between Texas and Kansas State this weekend is going to go on to make the Big 12 playoff. And whoever wins between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State is going to go on to make the Big 12 playoff. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah. And Oklahoma better be ready to go because Gundy's got that team rolling right now.
Yeah, Oklahoma State and Kansas State are the 2 hottest teams in the Big 12 right now. They might not be the 2 best teams, and we're going to find that out this weekend, but they're the 2 hottest teams. Texas and Oklahoma, neither one have looked good since they played each other. Meanwhile, Kansas State and Oklahoma State are blowing people out every week.
Yeah, Texas is pretty much is in a worse spot than any of the other 4 teams. They don't have Ewers.
They don't have Ewers, and they have the toughest schedule because they have to play 2 of the top teams still. They got to play Kansas State and Iowa State.
I just don't see them getting in. Anyways, Lou, roll Tide.
All right, PR.
Thank you for.
Yep, good to talk to you, man. Thank you for coming on. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, good morning, Lou.
Hey, what's up?
Michigan's got now 4 active investigations on their campus.
Yep.
They got a classic Big Ten one to go along with it too. But my main thing is if Kirk Ferentz is staying at Iowa, if I'm him, I'm trying to get someone from Georgia's offensive staff up there to fill the void now left by his son's forced resignation.
Well, maybe. I mean, Bobo's the only one on staff right now with any offensive coordinator experience. I don't know that he would leave for a similar position at Iowa. So if you start looking underneath that, you've got like Todd Hartley is a popular name. He's the tight ends coach. And so he's obviously a hot name because you look at the way Georgia's been recruiting tight ends and then putting them in the NFL lately. He's a hot name. I don't know if he's ready to be a coordinator or would even be considered, but he would be the one on Georgia's offensive staff that I would think would be the first one somebody would look at.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if they can find a way to get any sort of competent offense, they'll be at least an 8-9 win team every year and occasionally make the playoffs with 12 teams.
I agree.
And then just before I get out of here, I just want to give a couple picks for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I got Kansas State over Texas. Got to apologize for Texas for picking BYU to cover over them last week, but yeah, I like Oklahoma State with the points. And then I like Georgia to win, but I think Missouri probably covers backdoor late.
All right.
That's all I got this week. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. Good picks. I disagree with the Georgia pick, but that's personal preference. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, good morning, Luke.
What's up, buddy? Yep.
Hey, so not to beat into the Big Ten like everybody else is, but I did have a question regarding like next year's conference alignment and what your thoughts are with the Big Ten. Because, in the past it's Michigan, Ohio State, and then everybody else. somewhat. And then with this shakeup with them adding Oregon and USC, and do you think it's going to make it competitive, or do you think we're just going to see the same thing?
No, I think it's
year
going to
in,
be.
year
Yeah, I think it's clearly going to be more competitive. I mean, the Big Ten West is a pile of dog shit. There's not a single team in the Big Ten West that's averaging over 25 points per game. I mean, everybody laughs at Iowa because they couldn't hit that 25-point mark in order for Brian Ferentz to keep his job. But the reality is nobody in the Big Ten West is averaging over 25 points. That entire half of the division is not even Power 5 level. It's absolute garbage. So doing away with divisions, adding two really good teams in Oregon and Washington, a pretty good team in Southern Cal, and a just kind of average UCLA, yeah, it's going to become more competitive. Now, the Big Ten is still going to get multiple teams into the playoffs every single year because you got going to a 12-team playoff. But outside of that, I mean, I don't know who those teams might be. I mean, I don't care about next year right now, to be honest. But the one downside of every conference doing away with these divisions is it's going to make it nearly impossible going forward to memorize people's schedules. Having divisions made it easier to learn and memorize a bunch of different schedules. Because if you know every team that's in the Big Ten East, you know the majority of every team in the Big East schedule. If you know who's in the SEC, you don't have to be an SEC expert. If you know who's in the SEC East, you kind of generally know who they're playing. All that's out the window now, and the schedules are going to completely change every single year. So it's going to make it a lot harder to kind of memorize schedules. So I couldn't tell you like who's got an easy path in the Big Ten next year, who's got a hard path. I don't know who's playing who. And I don't care. I don't want to confuse myself when we're still in this season. Obviously, myself and everybody else is going to have to take a lot of time in the off season to familiarize ourselves with all these schedules because they're all just so brand new.
Right. I'm originally from the South. I live in Iowa now, have been for about 3 years. But something that I hear all the time around here from football fans is that
did you get sent to prison there or something, or did
No,
you go
the
to
Army.
you went there
It's the
willfully
Army.
or the Army? I got you.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they say that, we play defense up here, well, unlike anybody else. And it's more like they don't play any offense up there. But,
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do have good defenses in the Big Ten. I mean, that's true. But I mean, they also have good defenses in the SEC too. I mean, we can look at the draft numbers. We need to, but some people down here think the Big Ten is terrible top to bottom, and that's just not true. I mean, the Big Ten is a legitimate football conference with plenty of great defensive players.
Oh, for sure. I guess one more question on the Big Ten. What do you think Nebraska is looking like? Because they look a lot better. I mean, they have a chance to win.
I'll be honest. I quit paying attention to them after about week 3 because they were losing, and that quarterback was so bad. And I watched the Colorado. I think it was the Colorado-Nebraska game. I got so mad at that damn Nebraska quarterback. I couldn't see straight, and I kind of gave up on Nebraska out of that. And then next thing you know, they're bowl eligible. They might win 7 or 8 games, and if they end up doing that, yeah, that's still a bad loss to Colorado, and even that Minnesota game from back way early in the season was just impossible to watch. I mean, it was just horrible football. But it's kind of like a don't look now thing, but they're going to end up about where some people predicted them on the high side, which is 7-8 wins. So I think that would be, not that Nebraska fans are happy overall with an 8-win season, but I think that's going to be a successful first season for Matt Rule, especially if he can get to 8 wins.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think bowling for them is just a win.
Oh, yeah. It's been since like 2015, 2016. It's been a long time since they made a bowl game.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, Lou, I won't take any more of your time.
All right, buddy.
Thanks for taking me, and
yeah, man.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming on. Good to hear from you. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, Lou. Appreciate what you're doing, brother.
You all right?
So, hey, man. Oh, yeah, I'm good. So I'm looking at the next few games for Georgia coming up for the remaining 4. So I think I got the feeling that Georgia's just going to blow through Missouri. It's going to be a tough game in the first half, but the second half they take away. Mississippi's going to be a close game. But as far as the remaining 4 games, I think Tennessee's the one that Georgia might have the biggest struggle with, only because it's up at the Gimmick Field in Tennessee. What do you think, man?
I think Ole Miss is the best team left on Georgia's schedule, and obviously, like you mentioned, at Tennessee is the toughest environment they will play in. Georgia's going to be double-digit favorites in all of those games, so it's going to be an upset if they lose one. But I agree with you.
Good deal, man. Sounds like my microphone screwed up. I'll let you go, brother. Appreciate
All right, buddy. Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming on. Hey, Lassie. Timmy fell in the well. Go get him. Yeah. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Oh, I'm sorry, Uncle Lou. I didn't know you had me on. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. What's going on?
Nothing. Just
I
sitting here
wanted-
waiting on you to call in.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I was looking at Georgia's schedule, and the really two tough games will be Ole Miss and Mizzou. Even though it's at home, it'll still be two tough games. Ole Miss will try to get 30, but I think the defense will contain that. Mizzou will try to do what they did last year, sneak up on us, but it won't work this time because we have a layout on what they're trying to do.
Right.
And Tennessee, of course, is at Neyland, but I'm not really concerned about Tennessee because if Kentucky can throw over their head like they did this past weekend, and had a field day and made Dennis Leary look like the reincarnation of Peyton Manning at Tennessee, then no. I think Georgia can stomp Tennessee with pass yards instead of rush yards.
Yeah, I tend to agree with everything you said. Thank you for the call. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hey, what's up, Uncle Lou? How
Hey,
you
buddy.
doing?
Good. You?
I wish I could say the same. I'm just kidding. I'm doing all right.
Good.
Tough season for the Gamecocks right now.
Yeah.
We do have 4 straight home games to end the year, but if I'm being honest with you, I'm fed up with the Shane Beamer clown show press conferences, and I
should
think we're
be.
going to finish 4-8.
Yeah, you should be. 4-8 would be pretty good considering you're at 2 wins right now. So
Yeah, I know, right?
This is a disaster of a season. I mean, he overachieved his first 2 years, and he's massively underachieved this year.
It all started with not being able to keep his players from transferring.
Yeah, well, nobody really can do that. I mean, you're going to lose players. You got to be able to replace them, and without a strong recruiting base, or the ability to attract more transfers, that's going to be hard to do. I mean, y'all lost 2 really good players on offense. In particular, you lost pretty much your entire defensive front, and you just weren't able to replace it.
Yeah, I'm just really concerned for I don't know. I do my own YouTube stuff. I mean, I'm nowhere near anything what you are, but I do my own stuff, and I lost it after the Florida game. I mean, I think that was the last.
That was bad. Yeah,
that was terrible.
That was the end of the season there. Up until that point, you had some hopes left. Maybe we can get to 6 wins. Maybe we beat the Taters at the end and can brag about that and all that. But, you blow that 10-point fourth quarter lead against a bad Florida team. You go out and lose to a bad Texas A&M team. And listen, don't shoot the messenger. Jacksonville State will come out there and whip your ass if y'all fuck around.
I know. I'm concerned.
And that's
actually.
embarrassing. And I'm an SEC guy. I got to come on here and hear this shit. If y'all lose that game, I'm going to be mad. In fact, I'm deciding right now I'm holding you personally responsible. So,
well, Lou, just know this. I'm very knowledgeable about the schemes and philosophy of football, but I'm not a coach. I'm not a player. I can't do anything about it. I wish I could.
I don't want to hear excuses. I want answers. So I'm like I said, get a win over Jacksonville State, or I'm holding you personally responsible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, buddy. Good luck this weekend, man. Thanks for coming on. I think South Carolina will win, but we've seen Jacksonville State play some Power 5 teams really, really close. Didn't they beat or almost beat somebody? Was it Florida State? I don't remember who it was now, but if South Carolina gets up there and starts fucking around, Jacksonville State will beat them. I don't think it'll happen, but Carolina better not mess around. Good morning, but you're on with Uncle Lou, though.
What up, Lou?
Good morning.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, quick question. Do you think Harbaugh should be fired?
Yes.
Why?
Lack of institutional control.
Gotcha. So that rule states that the coach should be fired because lack of institutional control. So I want to correlate that to the real world. If a road cop does something bad, should the captain be fired?
I think it would depend on the circumstances, but it's possible.
Right. So that's why I say he shouldn't be fired, because if it's proven, like I'm a Michigan fan, right? I'm from Georgia, but I'm a Michigan fan. Pull for Georgia too. Two favorite teams.
Who hired Connor Stallions?
Say what now?
Who hired Connor Stallions?
That's what I'm getting to. So if
Jim
the same
Harbaugh.
thing happens, right?
Who hired?
Right.
Who hired the guy that's diddling
the
13-year-olds?
pedo guy. Right. So I'm getting to that. So Harbaugh hired those two guys. So if those two guys do bad things, his head should roll by that logic. So if the same thing happened with a bad cop, if the captain hired a bad cop, he should be fired too.
Right.
Anytime a cop does something bad in the field, kills an innocent, pushes me on somebody's neck, that captain head should roll.
Yeah, I mean, you got another staffer that was fired. The FBI's there investigating all the computer crimes thing. You've got
for Matt White. Yes, fire his ass. He did something illegal.
Yeah.
Fire his ass.
Right.
I'm with them. He's doing something. I don't like holding the head man accountable for individuals' personal mistakes, because they chose to make those mistakes because I hired them. There's nothing they did in their interview that would tell me they're going to be a computer crimes guy or a pedo guy or a rule breaker. It's for finding the coach. Now, I'm all with the fact that as a program, we broke rules. If it's found that we broke rules, we have to take our punishment like a man. Take your punishment. Now, I don't think they should fire the coach. Give him a suspension, give him his punishment. You got to make better choices in hiring. I'll give you that. Give him a suspension. Yeah. I don't think he should be fired because of it, though. The bowl ban thing, I don't think he should be fired from the bowl ban, because at this time, it's out right now. It's out. It was out 2 weeks ago. So at this time, Michigan has been accused of cheating. I think we did wrong. I think Connor broke rules. Sign stealing is illegal, but what Connor did was illegal. So we broke the rule.
Yeah.
We broke the rule. Suffer the punishment.
So do you think, and I'm not asking what you can prove, I'm just asking what you think or what your gut tells you. Do you think Jim Harbaugh knew what Connor Stallions was doing?
In my opinion, honestly, no.
Okay.
Because this is why I'm gonna tell you, I've been thinking about it for like a couple of days. This is why I think he doesn't know. Connor Stallions had a LinkedIn profile that explicitly said he's a sign stealing extraordinaire. He publicized it for the world to know. He told the world he stole signs. That was his job. No other school has a guy who has a profile that says he steals signs.
Yeah.
Every school has a sign stealer. He told the world he was stealing signs. So Harbaugh probably thought he was on the up and up because he made it public. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't make sense for me to think this guy's doing something illegal when he's telling the world that's what he does for a living.
Yeah.
So I don't think Harbaugh knew. He probably thought this guy was just really good at his job. I found me a gym.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if he comes back that he knew and he had his hands in it, cut him off.
Yeah.
You got to let Harbaugh go. You got to fire him. We got to take our punishment just like USC took theirs.
I can respect that opinion, man. Thank you for the call. We're going to see how this plays out. I don't know. I tend to think nothing's going to happen this year. I do think the NCAA will eventually end up doing something about it 3 or 4 years down the road. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou again.
Oh, no, you can
Say less. All right. That's it. That's all she wrote. I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight for Uncle Lou After Dark, the college football call-in show. I do this every Tuesday and Thursday night around 9 p.m. So make sure you tune in next week. On Tuesday, we will talk about all the results from this weekend's coming games. And, of course, next Thursday, we'll talk about all the following weekend's games. That's generally how it works. Good luck to everybody's team this weekend, unless you're a Missouri fan. Unfortunately, you've got to tote the Giant L. For the rest of you, I hope your teams win 100-0. Nobody gets injured, all that good stuff. My streaming schedule for this weekend, Saturday morning, 9 a.m., the college football kickoff show. We get you set for the day's slate of games. My game stream schedule for Saturday, 3:30 p.m. I will be streaming all the afternoon games on Patreon. The link for the Patreon page is in the description of this video. You can click on that link, go over there, check out the Patreon page. It's a great way to help support the channel, and we have a lot of fun on the Patreon streams. You're missing out if you're not on there. The YouTube stream on Saturday will be for the primetime game, so even if you're not signed up on the Patreon, that's okay. we will be live streaming the primetime games right here on this YouTube channel. So if you're going to be watching college football on Saturday, this is the place to be. Come hang out with us. We have a great time watching these games and talking about them and discussing them. And yes, arguing about them all in real time. All day Saturday. All right. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you again soon. Have a good morning. And Michigan cheated.